Good day, folks. Today we will talk about DataStage administration. Before going to the administration, we will check what are the components and bundled in the information server DataStage. So you may heard about information server, or you may not heard. So information server is a bundle which is released by IBM. This is IBM's product. This bundle we have more than 10 products. The product name called DataStage, Quality Stage, Metastage, Fast Track, Information Analyzer. So kind of there are 7, 8, around 10 products bundled in this product. So IBM made this as a bundle. So even before going to the product level, so we will see what are the main components in the information server. So information server, IBM information server. Okay, this is a bundle. So this bundle we have mainly 4 tiers, four group of products, or maybe we can tell it 4 tiers, right? So we even here we can tell client server tier or topology. The same way client server technology here, topology is applicable or here as well. But before going to the client server topology, we have 4 main components, 4 tiers. So one is DataStage, not DataStage, information server meta tier, meta tier. Second one, services tier, services tier. Third one, engine tier. Fourth one, client tier. So the meta tier is nothing but it's a kind of it's a purely database. It's a database. We can use this database to store the information server and its bundle. It's the bundle products, right? If products are bundled, so all the products and product informations, access, everything will be stored in the metadata database. It's kind of infra database. We need this one infra database to install information server. So it actually DB2 is bundled with information server, the default database DB2 database. DB2 also from IBM. This database is bundled in information server. This is bundled one. Also we have options to use. For example, my organization, I have Oracle team. They are supporting, right? So I don't have DB2 support. In this case I can use Oracle. So Oracle also we can use. We have option. And third one, SQL server. Third one, SQL server. We can use SQL server also. Okay, so it's a simply meta tier is a database where the information server and the products whatever bundled during installation time, it will be stored in information server meta tier database. And even DataStage is also one of the product in this bundle. So including DataStage also. If you want to install DataStage, yes, we need first we will have to get the information server package from IBM. Then we'll have to create the database before start installing the information server and DataStage. Okay, so now DB is ready. Now we can use either DB2, which is bundled in this information server, or Oracle database. If you have Oracle supporting in your organization, we can use Oracle database, and MySQL server. If it is for Windows environment, we can use Windows MySQL server. Okay, so in this one database is required. Mainly even IBM recommends to have 2 database. So but here, as per my experience, past experience, even 1 DB is more than enough, with different schemas and access privileges. We need around 10 schemas, 10 users with auto extended table space, or we can allocate a particular space. Maybe if we can allocate 10 schemas. 10 schemas required. 10 schema DB schemas required. Basically users with required privileges, and with 50 GB of table space. 50 GB of table space. table space. So this is database requirement, which is a metadata database. Even if you use DB2, we can use pre-installed database, or we can install during the installation itself. Most of the cases we use pre-installed metadata DB, which means before installing information server and data stage, we used to create database and create the required schemas. Here we need 10 users and schemas. This 5 are unique name, and remaining 4 or 5 are based on your tools and product selection. So first one is xmeta. Xmeta is very much important, which will store all the even especially data stage and quality stage information server and data stage quality stage information to the particular schema which is created on the metadata DB. Okay, so this is simply a database. We don't have to much worry about this. Most of the organizations have separate database support team. They will help you to build the own database with 10 schemas based on your requirement. And second one is services tier. The services tier is nothing but the service tier. What are the products we are installing? The information part of information server, right? So this database, this services tier will allow the administrators to manage all the products centrally. There is a centralized administration console, so through that you can do almost all the product level administration, as well as it's a single point of place where all authentication and authorization will happen. Now through the services tier only we'll have to reach to all the products. So this is basically 15 to 20 applications deployed on the WebSphere. So here this is so here WebSphere knowledge also required if you have to install and data stage and manage the instances. WebSphere is required. WebSphere is required. Okay, WebSphere even the same thing. So we have to pre-install WebSphere, or even WebSphere also bundled in this information server. This IAS component bundled products can see this bundle we have DB2, DB2, application server, app server, WebSphere, and data stage, quality stage, fast track, information analysis, information analysis, and business glossary and business glossary anywhere, BG 8, etc. So we don't have to worry about all those products. Okay, so the main thing here is we need database which is already bundled. So we can use either DB2 database which is bundled, or we can use Oracle or MySQL server. It's your decision. If you have good support in Oracle team, your organization having Oracle support, we can use very well Oracle, but you need license. So additional license cost will involve. So it depends on the support level and business budget, your business budget. In application server WebSphere, this is mandatory. Whether you can use the bundled one, or maybe you can use the bundled one as a pre-installed WebSphere services tier. And during IAS information server installation, you will have to use the pre-installed WebSphere application instance name, and the service installation will deploy all the applications in the WebSphere. This is simple application server, simply called application server. If you don't have much idea about WebSphere, you can just Google it. You can just Google, right, IBM space WebSphere. You will get a lot more article from IBM site. IBM Tech Notes also available. You can explore yourself. And DataStage, yes, DataStage is the main thing. So because of this DataStage only, we are talking about this many things, right? So we cannot install DataStage alone. We need information server bundle from IBM. Then we'll have to install Metadata database. We'll have to create. We'll have to install Metadata. Either we can use bundle DB2 or Oracle or SQL Server. On top, we have to create 10 schemas along with the required table space. Minimum 50 GB is recommended for in your production environment. And right, then we'll have to install services there first. For SIT and the non-production environment, we can install these two together. Services tier, engine tier together as a single server topology kind of things. So if it's a production, we'll have to distribute and ensure high availability enabled for all the tiers. Okay, so we will talk later more on this. You don't worry about this now. The services tier is nothing but simply it's a WebSphere component, and the services tier installation will deploy the components which are bundled, right? The data stage, quality stage, meta stage, these products need to manage centrally, and also including authentication, authorization, centralized administration, all other things we will discuss later. So all the applications will be deployed on the WebSphere, which is the services tier. The service tier, pre-install WebSphere, we can deploy it in the services tier, or we can install both even, right? During the information server service installation itself, we can select WebSphere, install WebSphere and deploy. We have different options. During installation phase, we will talk in detail. Now you don't have to worry about it. The service tier is nothing but a WebSphere. WebSphere is running. On top, we are going to deploy 15 to 20 applications on the WebSphere layer as a services tier, in order to make centralized authentication, centralized administration, and a few other activities for the products which are going to install. Okay, so installation portion we don't have to worry about. We will discuss later. And engine tier. So engine tier, yes. Engine mean it's nothing but it's nothing but a DataStage engine. So we cannot install DataStage engine alone. Yes, we can also install, but by default, right, whenever we install the engine tier, by default we select a few components. Sometimes application team need to install, need to use quality stage. Sometimes they will ask you to install fast track. They will ask you to enable fast track. We don't have to worry about it. So these all application teams activities, they will use it for their application. We'll have to only just enable this. During engine tier installation, we can select all the products including data stage and quality stage, and then just complete the installation. So right, this is a meta tier, service tier, engine tier. So these are server side components. Simply these are server side components. So client tier, this is the place where we have client components which will be used for development environment. Your application team will connect DataStage environment, DataStage server from the DataStage client and do the development. Here in high level, this is simple DataStage application components. This box server side components. This server machine, here we have DB2 also in the same server, DB2 or any database, any of this database is running as a meta tier. Here we have the services tier, WebSphere, application server, DataStage domain. So it's a domain kind of domain. Here WebSphere, all the applications deployed on the WebSphere. Here this is the engine. So this is engine is nothing but DataStage ETL engine. This is the place where all ETL event will happen. So these three are server side components. These three are server side components. Meta tier, services tier, engine tier. These three are server side components will be installed on your Linux server. Linux server or any Unix server, AX server, HP Unix, Ubuntu server, anywhere. Most of the enterprise they are using Linux, and few are still using AX and AX also from IBM. So it's the best combination. IBM database, IBM operating system AX, IBM database DB2, Metadata, the ETL IBM's WebSphere services tier, IBM's engine tier, IBM's services tier, and database also from IBM, and operating system also from IBM, and the reporting tool also IBM's reporting tool Cognos. So depends how your business, right, how your organization decision maker is selecting the product based on the business needs and budget. Okay, so the services tier WebSphere level. The engine tier, it's a purely ETL engine. This is where your ETL job creation all will be done. And the client tier, this is the place where you can connect to the server and do the development. So here in the service tier, client tier, we have mainly three different components. One, DataStage Administrator. Here in the client area we have clients for few other products also. Not only DataStage, we have Fast Track, we have Quality Stage, we have client for some other tools. So maybe we can go to information server. See, information server, we have connection migration tool and DataStage Quality Stage Administrator, DataStage Quality Stage Designer, DataStage Quality Stage Director. Here we have multi-client manager. So multi-client manager will allow you to connect different versions of DataStage. And this is command line interface. This is information server console, so which will help you to connect the console. And this is server manager. Here I have selected only few products, not the entire product. So this is showing the less number of products. Okay, so here our case we are talking more on the DataStage. So here we can tell like this, DataStage clients. So what are the main DataStage client components, right? The client tier, the DataStage client components. Okay, one, DataStage Administrator. DataStage Administrator. Second one, DataStage Designer. Third one, DataStage Director. So these are the main three client components which will be used for the DataStage project. So these are called as EJP clients. So we'll have to download the package from IBM, the DataStage client components. This is an EJP clients, and the client side we have another component also there, EJP client, DataStage client, or we can tell EJP clients, EJP, right? EJP client. So this is EJP. Then we have EJB, Enterprise Java Bean. Then these are EJP clients, or the normal DataStage client. We have another client also, HTML client. This is nothing but normal, your browser based application. There is a browser based application, so we can connect from your supported browser and do the centralized administration. You can use IE, simply IE. Internet Explorer. We can through this we can connect to the your information server and to the centralized administration. This is also one of the client. DataStage clients, we have 3 different clients which is used for the project. So one we will check one by one. Yeah, normally the DataStage administrator client used to create project. DataStage administrator client, administrator used to create project and set project level parameters, and delete projects, create projects. What else? You can enable auto purging, enable log purging, and we can user privileges, user permissions. For example, if you are creating users, right, you will have to give user privilege in development environment. Some operators, if they want to run the batch and monitor the batch, right, in the production environment, we will have to give operator role. So based on the environment, based on the user access level, we will have to grant the access. So these are the main things we can use DataStage administrator. Only DataStage administrators can use this component. Only administrators, not the developers. This is where your administration activity will start. Your administration activity will start once installation is done. We have to use administrator client and create the project. So we will check one by one. So we will perform all the activities one by one, especially in the admin activities. So before going to admin activities, so let's see here, right? This is our enterprise data integration, as we have already discussed about, right, in the data warehouse concept. There was a architecture, almost similar architecture. Here we have now the DataStage. This is simply the essential platform. We can connect to any source system, even not only DataStage, all the ETL tools having this capability. We can connect to any source. It may be any RDBMS system, it may be a CRM system, customer relationship management system, enterprise resource planning system, supply chain management system. Could be any RDBMS system. RDBMS like databases, DB2 database or Oracle database or MySQL or Terbi database. It could be any database. And legacy systems, even you can connect to the mainframe systems also we can connect. And real-time systems where the messagings and queues and some other, right, and the real-time events. Here also we can connect the systems, some sensors also we can connect our DataStage and pull the data. And client server, the database kind of client server topology, wherever client server, the web services we can use. We can connect web services also and get the data. Even we can connect to some other existing data warehouse system also for migration or moving data from one place to another place. We can use data warehouse also, existing data warehouse also we can connect and pull the data whatever is required for modern data warehouse. Or we can sometime we can connect to the data warehouse and migrate to the big data also. See, nowadays big data warehouse, normal enterprises they are still using data warehouse. Bigger enterprises the data keep growing. So even nowadays the related RDBMS systems are not able to handle this much volume of data. So big enterprises are going to big data. So big data also we have HDFS, even on top of HDFS, right, Hive and all other ecosystems running. So we can connect to this. Mainly Hive is used for data warehousing purpose in the big data platform, and for in order to migrate the old big data warehouse to big data, we can connect to the data warehouse system and extract the data and load the data to your big data. And other apps, it could be any apps, even data warehouse, any ETL tool, not only DataStage, all the ETL tools is having this capability. The same way, once extracted data, we can do the transformation and load the data Even in between we can purify the data, cleansing, correct and match the input data, even few cleansing data. Cleansing means some for example some data is coming from your source system with hundreds of columns. 100 columns are not required for your business. Some, right, this case we will have to avoid few. Whenever you are mapping the data, we can ignore few columns, and also the data may be not the clear data. Sometimes first name will be in second name, so second name may not be there, and sometimes lower case, upper cases, date transformation, lookup, right? We can do the lookup also, lookup and do the transformation, and we can correct it in matching cases. We have almost all the options. So only the thing here is all the predefined functions available in DataStage. Only developers need to use the correct predefined function and create a DataStage job. And once the job is ready, the data is extracted from these various disparate systems, and data is in one consistent format, because these are different source systems in different format, right? So we'll have to change the data structure, data types into one consistent format, and apply the business logic and load the data to your target database. Your target database also same thing. It could be any database or a big data, anything. It could be anything. We can connect to any system and load it. Normally in the data warehouse system we use RDBMS. Nowadays in the modern data warehouse, right, we use big data. The same way we can connect to the database and push the data. This is parallel execution. Nowadays all the ETL tools is having this capability. We can run in parallel mode. For example, water is going in single pipe, 100 liter water, how long it will take? For example, 2 minutes. If we have the same pipe, right, same water will have to transfer from one place to another place. If you have 4 pipes, how long it will take? Your time will be reduced 4 times. So like this is parallelism. We can run the job in parallelism manner. And metadata management, yes, this will be taken care by the application team, not the DataStage admins. We are admins, we don't have to much worry about the metadata management. So for the metadata management is nothing but, for example, we are pulling data from one particular table. For example, we are pulling data from sales table. So sales table is having 20 columns. So what are those columns? So those 20 columns, when we pull the data, we will have to get the data type also for the each column, and we will have to map the respective column, right, table definition. This is a metadata to the target database. For example, the sales product name should be in product name, right? We will have to even the application team will work with the data modeling team. They will give the proper the table definition and metadata, whatever. The data modeling team will create the database for the application team. Then once the data modeling is done, then application team will start doing the development. Once development is done, then they will test it in SIT, right? Same thing, they will need to follow the standard procedure development in dev server, and SIT, system integration testing in SIT environment, and user acceptance testing in UAT environment. So we will discuss all those things later. We don't have to worry about now. So this is the simple data stage architecture, and we will talk a little about the product. DataStage is one of the ETL tool, as I explained, and IBM. This is from IBM. Actually, not actually from IBM. Actually, IBM acquired from Essential Corporation. Essential Corporation only developed this tool. So after acquiring IBM included many more features, and included this tool to bundle. Even IBM acquired this tool, if I remember correctly, 7.5, some 7x only IBM acquired from Essential Corporation. After that, IBM included this parallelism. Earlier there was no parallelism, only server jobs where we can run single node cluster, single node, no parallelism. We cannot run the jobs in 2 node or 3 node by using the parallelism technique. So now from DataStage 7.5.2, I guess, if I remember correctly, from onwards the parallelism, IBM introduced the concept of parallelism. Then IBM keep adding the features and many more things. Then 8x 8.0 IBM released as a information server bundle. This server bundle only all the tiers came to picture. Earlier only the engine tier with simple authentication mechanism and client tiers, only these two. So after 8 only the meta tier came to picture and services tier came to picture. So now after 8 only meta tier and services tier. Earlier only engine and client. From before 8x only engine with a small authentication mechanism and client. So the same way, right, client developers will connect from the client to this server and do the development. Nowadays after 8 after 8 version, IBM now created this as a bundle with many more products, including the DB2 database and WebSphere services tier, and all other tools, including our DataStage and quality stage. Then IBM now was keep trying to improve and add additional features, and even in the latest trend, right? So always keep add, and a lot of competitors also in the market, like Informatica, Oracle Warehouse Builder. There are many more vendors also available in market. So everyone need to keep improve and add many more features, and of course bugs also will be there. They will also need to fix the bug and release fix patches, and will release kind of 8 release, right? After the 8 version was having so many bugs, so many things, because it was the first time bundle with all meta tier and services tier and many more products. There was a lot of bug. Then IBM immediately released one fix pack 1 itself having more than 1 GB, if I remember correctly, for all the tiers, services tier, engine tier and client tier, all the tiers they were released fix pack. So actually normally patch is simple patch, it will fix particular issue. Fix pack is this is pack. So this pack will fix a bunch of issues, and it will include few more features, right? Even if you want know more about fix pack and patches, you can just go to Google and explore the IBM information server fix pack something, can trigger the keyword. When this keywords, you will get a lot more article, and we will discuss later during installation and patching phase. This is the third phase. And 8.1 also released. 8.5, 9, from 9x IBM jumped into 11.5, 11x. So 11x also having many more features. 11x having the flexibility to connect to your big data. Even Yarn resource manager also bundled in this. We can run the engine tier in big data, and use utilizing your big data clusters, right? Even big data, right, more than 100 clusters, some more than 1000 clusters. Even now Facebook is having 4000 node or 6000 node cluster, big data cluster, as I heard. So even you have the big data infrastructure, so you can run the job. You can normally you can install meta tier in normal way, and service tier also normal way. The engine tier you can install it and run it on the big data by using the different configuration file. So we will discuss later on the configuration file, apd config file. This is main thing for the admin. So a lot more things also available in the information server. So we will concentrate more on the data stage. So with the data stage, you can design job and extract, integrate, aggregate, transform the data, load into the target, create and manage and reusable metadata. These all will be done by application team, not by the data stage admins. So we don't have to much worry about it. So yes, we have to create write a piece of code and ensure the infrastructure is working fine whenever you install data stage, and also whenever you create any new project for application team to develop the project, or maybe UAT or UAT testing or production. Whenever whenever the administrator creating new project, the administrator need to create a piece of code and ensure the data stage the particular project is able to use. right? Sometime, right, some file may be corrupt, some project may not create properly, so administrator need to ensure the DataStage project is working fine. For that, need to create simple job and run it. We don't have to worry about this many things. These are will be done by development team, DataStage development team, not the DataStage admin team. So this is simple application components. Here, as I explained earlier, these are the client components where we can install it in your Windows environment. Designer will be used to design the job. Director is to monitor the job. So we will check each and every product in DataStage level, how it will be used for your application. When administrator, even I have explained few things about administrator. Through the administrator, we can create project, delete project, set project level parameters. Like your application team need to want to connect particular database, right? Or maybe not only particular database, maybe many more also we can connect. So the source system integration, right? There are some parameters, some project level tuning parameters, and the APD config parameter. So whatever the related to parameters in the project level, we can define it here. Even we have a separate topic called environment variable configuration. So we will discuss more on this when the topic comes. And enable log purging, user permissions. So many other things also there in administrator. We will do it in the next video. So this is even client server. DataStage is a client server topology. So server components are installed in server, maybe in the single server or distributed server, up to your business needs. And these are the client components. Client are installed in your Windows machine. So client DataStage administrator client, director client, designer client. These are the EJB clients. And HTML client will be in IE or any supporting process will be used to connect your services tiers to manage centrally. And administrator, so administrator the configuration will be done, adding projects, deleting projects, adding environment variables. So we will connect to the server and check how we can perform. See, create projects, create delete project, purge job log files, grant user role, setting user timeout, individual on the timeout interval on server computer, tracing, setting job parameters by default, issuing the DataStage engine commands. Here also we can some utilities available. We can use that utility for unlocking, cleaning some objects. We will see one by one. And this is the client, administrator client. So first thing here is we will have to log in the administrator and with valid credential. You will see the administrator client connected. So we will see it here, right? Once administrator client connected, we can see two tab. So one is general tab. Here we can see DataStage version. This is 8.1, very old version. I have prepared this long back. So here the timeout parameter, and if you click the project tab, we can see the project tab. Here install project. So this is the default project. During installation, just we will have to enable this during in the installation wizard. The installation itself will create on a simple project. Then I have created on top one test project called Siva test. And what else? This is a designer. So designer will be used to design the jobs. We will connect and review the product one by one. What are the options is mandatory for the administrators, and what are the things for the developers. We will concentrate more on the administration area. So this simple job will extract data from two different sequential files, two different flat files, and the funnel, using the funnel, and both the data going to the transformer. Here we are doing some transformation, then loading the data to Oracle database. This is a simple job. So just pulling the data from two different source system, and doing some transformation and loading to Oracle database. This is a simple job. This is director. So director will be used to just validate jobs, run jobs, monitor jobs, schedule jobs, and gather statistics. So simply we can write here, this is the place we can run the job, and we can kill the job, we can reset the job. So we will connect to the server and review how it will be done. And DataStage projects, so created during installation on the install project. On top we will create based on your project requirement. If it is a development, for example, the project is required for India team, India business today, for example, this is for some global application. So for this is to India. If we have to connect India development team to do the development, we'll have to create in underscore dwh underscore dev. This is kind of some standard project naming standard. For example, create project, if assume this is for development, so in underscore dwh underscore dev. Right, so this is development environment, we can create the project. The same way we need the additional project for the other environment, other higher environment like SIT and UAT. The same project, same naming standard we have to create. So this is ending with SIT. This project is used for SIT. The same way we can create the project, but not in the same server. We have to install the instances in UAT and create the project. Most of the cases is development and SIT will be created in the same server, because now we don't have to spend more money for the SIT server and installation license, all other things. So most of the cases, right, so the application team will use single server for development and integration testing SIT. And from UAT onwards, this is controlled infrastructure, and need to have the high availability system. We'll have to install DataStage, all 3 tiers, meta tier, the services tier and the engine tier, and enable high availability for all the components, all the tiers. UAT and production should have similar configuration, not the capacity. UAT environment is different, production environment is different, but the production need to have higher capacity where your actual batch will run with production data. So production data is huge volume, so we need to ensure we have enough capacity. Anyway, your architect and your admin lead will take care of these things. So production. So in terms of the infrastructure wise, dot to dot, configuration wise, UAT and production should be same. Except capacity. Yes, UAT only few users, few users will come to the UAT environment, do the UAT testing. So for that we don't have to have the high volume, like similar to the production. We need to have the 30 to 40% of production volume. This is more than enough. And production, yes, we are going to run the batch with production volume, huge volume of data. We need the full volume, full capacity, I mean capacity, CPU, memory. So normally the engine tier we use physical server, so which is high performance and high reliable, which will give better performance. Normally physical tiers with 128 GB of RAM and 24 core CPU, and storage even, it based on the volume of data, number of nodes, how the batch will be processed. So all will be there. We will discuss one by one later, you don't worry about this point. So this is simple project creation activity. We will create, we will connect to the server and perform this activity in the next video. Thank you guys, keep grow.